The night breathes softly. Stars shimmer like silent witnesses to forgotten dreams. A whisper drifts through the void, a name, ancient and eternal. Morpheus. He walks between worlds, where thought becomes form, and silence hums with memory. Each dream he touches ripples across the cosmos, reshaping what is real and what is imagined. But tonight, something stirs. The dream currents tremble beneath his feet. He feels the pulse of imbalance, a dissonance in the astral sea. Morpheus closes his eyes, sensing the threads of countless dreamers calling to him. He knows the voyage must begin again, not to conquer, but to understand. The realm of sleep is not rest. It is revelation. It waits for those who listen. He steps through the veil, where darkness glows and light breathes. There, the boundaries fade, and thought takes flight. A single breath carries him beyond the waking world. The astral voyage begins, not in distance, but in awareness. Dreams unfold like constellations, each a story waiting to be remembered. Morpheus whispers to you now, the listener between worlds. Close your eyes, he says. The journey has already begun. The dream begins with silence. A vast desert made of starlight stretches beyond sight. Each grain glows softly, pulsing with forgotten wishes. The air hums with hidden thought. In the middle stands a lone figure, uncertain, half awake. His name is Lucien. He does not know how he arrived or why his heart beats faster in the stillness. He looks up and the sky ripples like liquid glass. Moons drift like silver lanterns. Am I dreaming? He whispers, his voice swallowed by the stars. Then a shadow moves, tall and calm, clothed in twilight. Morpheus appears. His eyes hold galaxies and his voice carries the rhythm of tides. You are not dreaming, he says gently. You are within the dream itself. Lucien steps back, unsure. The sand glows brighter beneath his feet. Who are you? He asks, his voice trembling between awe and fear. Morpheus smiles. A guide, a reflection, a whisper of what you already know. The desert wind shifts, carrying echoes of distant laughter and sorrow. Morpheus gestures to the horizon, where faint lights shimmer like gateways. Every dream has a purpose, he says. You've crossed into the realm of meaning. Lucien looks around, feeling weightless as if his body no longer matters. What am I supposed to find here? He asks quietly. Not what, Morpheus replies. Who? The answer lingers in the air, soft but heavy. Lucien frowns, lost in thought. Someone waits for you beyond the mirrors of your own mind, Morpheus continues. Only by meeting them will you know why you came. Lucien feels something stir inside, a faint memory, like a face glimpsed in fog. He takes a cautious step forward. The sand ripples beneath him like water. Morpheus walks beside him, his movements fluid, almost soundless. The dreamscape responds to your thoughts, Morpheus explains. Every emotion, every doubt, reshapes what you see. You are both traveler and creator. Lucien watches as the stars shift above, rearranging into constellations unknown to him. A symbol forms, a spiral within a circle, pulsing faintly. What is that? He asks. Morpheus's gaze follows the pattern. The mark of awakening, he says. It appears when the soul begins to remember. Lucien feels warmth spread through him, as though a forgotten truth stirs awake. He tries to speak, but the words dissolve into the wind. The desert hums with unseen life, and the sky deepens to violet. Morpheus turns toward him, his tone both kind and distant. Do not fear what you find, he says. Fear only forgetting what you've seen. Lucien nods slowly, understanding without reason. His journey has begun. Together they walk toward the horizon, where starlight bends like a bridge. Each step takes him deeper into the dream, and closer to himself. The air grows brighter, the hum grows louder, and Lucien feels it, the first heartbeat of the astral voyage. The light fades into a soft silver glow. The air feels heavy, thick with possibility. Lucien follows Morpheus through shifting dunes that whisper like waves. Ahead, a vast structure rises from the starlit sand, the Door of Mirrors. Its surface gleams with 1,000 reflections, each one alive, breathing, watching. Lucien steps closer and the reflections begin to move on their own. In one, he sees himself as a child, running beneath golden skies. In another, an old man with gentle eyes smiling at something unseen. He reaches out, but the image ripples, dissolving into smoke and light. "What is this place?" he asks, his voice trembling with wonder. Morpheus stands beside him, silent for a moment before answering. "This is the threshold between dreams," he says softly. "Each reflection is a version of you, a life you might have lived or still could." Lucien stares, unable to look away. The mirrors whisper in 1,000 voices. He hears laughter, sorrow, songs, and cries, all his possibilities colliding in sound. "It's too much," he whispers. "I can't bear it." Morpheus places a calm hand on his shoulder. "Then listen to one voice at a time." Lucien closes his eyes. The noise fades into a single, steady rhythm, his own heartbeat. When he opens his eyes again, one reflection remains. It shows him as he is, but calmer, wiser, filled with quiet strength. "That one," Morpheus says. "That is the self that listens, not reacts." Lucien feels drawn to the image. He steps closer until their eyes meet. "Do I choose him?" he asks quietly. Morpheus nods. Choice defines the traveler more than the road ahead. Lucien takes a deep breath and touches the mirror. The surface ripples like water, pulling him forward without fear. He feels warmth, light, and a deep sense of release. On the other side, the world blooms into color. Floating islands, rivers of light. Morpheus appears beside him, unchanged, yet somehow closer. "You've entered the realm of potential," he says. "Here, thought becomes creation." Lucien looks around, seeing clouds twist into shapes that match his emotions. When he feels doubt, shadows form. When he feels hope, they dissolve. "It's alive," he murmurs. "Everything responds to me." "Yes," Morpheus replies. "The dream mirrors your truth. It cannot lie." They walk across a bridge of glass that hums beneath their steps. Below them, endless mirrors float, each showing other travelers in distant dreams. Lucien wonders how many souls wander here, searching for meaning as he does. "More than you can count," Morpheus says, reading his thoughts. "But few ever look closely enough to find themselves." Lucien stops, watching his reflection shimmer in the glass below. For the first time, he smiles. Not in pride, but in peace. He understands now. The mirror was never meant to show what's missing. It was meant to remind him he was never incomplete. As they walk onward, the mirrors fade into mist. Only one reflection remains, the path ahead, glowing like dawn. The door of mirrors closes behind them, silent and eternal. And somewhere deep within, Lucien's true self begins to awaken. The air grows cooler, tinted with silver mist. A sound rises, soft and endless, water flowing. Lucien stands at the edge of a vast river, glowing faintly under the astral light. The current moves without wind, carrying fragments that shimmer like broken glass. "What is this place?" he asks. Morpheus gazes at the current, voice calm as the tide. "This is the river of forgotten dreams," he says, "where every unremembered thought returns." Lucien kneels, touching the surface. It feels alive, warm, pulsing with memory. Shapes form beneath the water. Faces, moments, fragments of laughter and tears. He sees a child chasing light, a woman singing softly, a man staring into the rain. "Are these mine?" he asks, his voice small, uncertain. Morpheus shakes his head. "They belong to everyone. Each dream once lived in a heart." Lucien watches as one fragment drifts near, glowing brighter than the rest. It shows a boy holding a small lantern, walking through a dark forest. The boy looks up, and for an instant their eyes meet. Lucien gasps, "He looks like me." Morpheus nods. "A dream you once forgot, a promise you once made to yourself." Lucien stares, memory flickering like firelight. He remembers a night long ago, a time when he wished to never lose his sense of wonder. He watches the dream fade into the current, carried away, but never gone. "Why does it hurt to remember?" he asks softly. "Because remembrance is a bridge," Morpheus replies. "It connects who you were to who you are." The river glows brighter, responding to their voices. Waves of light dance like music. Lucien stands, feeling the rhythm. Move through him, through everything. "This river," he says. "It never ends." "No," says Morpheus. It circles through all minds. Even now it flows through yours. Lucien closes his eyes, listening. He hears the whispers of countless dreamers. Some cry, some laugh, some simply breathe in silence. He realizes that every soul leaves something behind, a story, a melody, a spark. Morpheus walks to the water's edge, his reflection rippling with stars. Every dream returns, he says, but only those who listen can bring them back. Lucien nods slowly, understanding the weight of that truth. He dips his hand once more into the current, and a single light clings to his palm. It pulses gently, warm and steady, a heartbeat of memory. He closes his hand around it, feeling peace instead of sorrow. Morpheus smiles faintly. Keep it. A reminder that no dream is ever truly lost. Lucien looks into the river one last time. The mist rises, wrapping him in silver calm. He feels lighter, as though part of him has returned from a long journey. When he steps back, the water begins to fade, leaving behind a path of light. The river has given you a gift, Morpheus says. Now it's time to move forward. Lucien nods, holding the light close. Together they walk toward the shimmering horizon. Behind them, the river sings, not of loss, but of return. And in its song, the dream remembers itself once more. The mist parts slowly, revealing towers that float upon nothingness. Lucien blinks, shielding his eyes from a glow that feels both distant and near. Before him stretches a city of glass and light, silent as a held breath. Morpheus stands beside him, his voice soft. Welcome to the city of silent minds. Lucien feels the air hum with thought, though no words are spoken. Figures made of light drift between buildings, their forms shifting like smoke. They do not speak, yet Lucien senses them communicating through stillness. He listens, and in the quiet, he hears echoes of emotions, soft and pure. Joy, sorrow, hope, acceptance, the language of silence itself. What are they saying? Lucien whispers, afraid to disturb the peace. Morpheus answers, they speak through understanding. Words would only lessen it. Lucien watches one figure pause before him, a being made of soft blue light. It raises a hand and touches his forehead gently. In that instant, a wave of calm floods his mind, heavy, endless, serene. He sees images not with eyes but with feeling, stars forming, children dreaming, rivers breathing. When he opens his eyes, tears fall silently. I felt everything, he whispers. Morpheus nods. Here, thought and emotion are the same. There is no separation. They walk through a long corridor made of translucent stone. Inside, streams of light move like veins, carrying fragments of quiet wisdom. Lucien asks, do they ever speak out loud? Only when the silence forgets its purpose, Morpheus replies. They enter a vast plaza where a crystal tree stands in the center, its branches glowing softly. Around it, the light beings gather, motionless but alive, listening to something unseen. Lucien tilts his head. What do they hear? The pulse of existence, says Morpheus, the rhythm that holds all dreams together. Lucien closes his eyes and listens. Beneath the silence, a faint vibration hums. It feels like the heartbeat of the universe itself, steady, eternal, patient. He realizes that every thought, every word, is just an echo of this deeper sound. He turns to Morpheus. Why bring me here? Morpheus looks at the glowing tree. Because you must learn the power of stillness. Lucien frowns. To do nothing? To be, Morpheus says simply. To hear before you speak. To feel before you act. Lucien breathes deeply, letting the silence fill him. For the first time, he feels no rush to move. The quiet doesn't weigh him down, it frees him. Around them, the city glows brighter, as if recognizing his understanding. The light beings bow their heads, their forms dissolving into soft radiance. The crystal tree shimmers, releasing a sound like a sigh of gratitude. Morpheus smiles. The city accepts you. You have listened well. Lucien bows slightly, humbled by the serenity surrounding him. He feels the silence linger within his chest, like a heartbeat made of light. As they leave the city, the air hums softly behind them. A farewell, wordless, but kind. Lucien looks back once, whispering, I will remember the quiet. And in the echo of his voice, the silence smiles. The road ahead glows faintly, winding through drifting clouds of light. Lucien and Morpheus walk in silence, the echoes of the silent city fading behind them. A faint hum rises in the air, like threads vibrating through unseen hands. Ahead, a structure appears, vast and endless, woven from silver filaments. Morpheus stops. "This is the loom of time," he says, "home of the weaver." Lucien gazes upward, awestruck. The threads stretch beyond sight, shimmering with memories. Each strand pulses with moments, laughter, tears, and choices unmade. As they step closer, a figure emerges from the glow, tall, serene, ageless. The weaver's eyes gleam with countless reflections, as though holding every second ever lived. Lucien feels the weight of time pressing against his chest. "Do not fear," the weaver says, voice soft but deep as the cosmos. "All who enter here are bound by their own becoming." Lucien bows slightly. "Why have I been brought here?" The weaver extends a hand, showing him a thread, silver, fragile, glowing softly. "This is your timeline," the weaver whispers. "Every choice, every dream, every silence." Lucien sees the thread pulse and tremble. Parts of it shimmer brightly, others fade into shadow. "What happened to the dim parts?" he asks, voice trembling. "They are moments. Forgotten," the weaver says. "Choices left unlived." Lucien feels a pang of sadness. "Can they be restored?" Morpheus answers before the weaver can. "Only through awareness. Memory gives them light." The weaver nods. "Balance is not perfection. It is remembrance." Lucien stares at the glowing thread, watching it twist among countless others. He sees threads crossing, touching, splitting apart, infinite lives interwoven. "So many lives," he whispers, "so many paths." "Yes," the weaver replies, "each thread touches another. Nothing exists in isolation." The weaver gestures, and Lucien's thread connects briefly with a thread of deep blue light. He sees flashes, a stranger's smile, a fleeting kindness, a forgotten song. "That is someone you once inspired," the weaver says. "A moment that shaped more than you know." Lucien feels tears form. "So every small thing matters? Every breath, every dream," Morpheus says softly. "They weave the whole." The loom hums louder, threads vibrating in harmony like celestial music. Lucien feels the rhythm echo through his body, grounding and infinite. The weaver steps back, hands raised. "The tapestry trembles," they say. "The dream world is shifting." Morpheus turns to Lucien. "The imbalance grows. We must understand its source." The weaver's gaze darkens slightly. "The dreamers forget themselves. Their threads weaken." Lucien clenches his fists. "Then I must remember, for them and for me." The weaver smiles gently. "Then you carry light into shadow. That is your path." Lucien watches as his thread brightens, steady and sure. The loom glows around them, a living constellation of stories intertwined. He feels the pull of destiny, not as command but as invitation. Morpheus places a hand on his shoulder. "Come." The voyage continues. Lucien nods, taking one last look at the weaver and the shimmering threads. He whispers, "May they never be forgotten." As they walk away, the loom hums softly, a song of memory and time unbroken. The light begins to flicker. The air grows tense, charged with invisible energy. Lucien feels the ground beneath him tremble, as if the dream itself were breathing faster. Morpheus raises his hand. "The balance is breaking," he says quietly. Around them, the sky ripples into waves of color, shifting from gold to violet to storm gray. A sound, like distant thunder, rolls through the heavens, not violent, but alive. Lucien looks around in awe. "What's happening?" "The astral storm," Morpheus replies, "born from thought unanchored, from minds in turmoil." The clouds swirl into spirals, glowing from within. Sparks of light dance through the air. Lucien can feel emotions bleeding into the storm, fear, doubt, forgotten hope. He realizes it isn't weather, but collective feeling, made visible. Morpheus steps forward, his presence steady amid the chaos. "This is not a battle," he says. "It is a song out of tune. We must listen, not fight." Lucien closes his eyes, trying to hear beyond the roar. At first, there's only noise, confusion, grief, longing. Then, slowly, A rhythm emerges, faint but steady, like a heartbeat beneath thunder. He focuses on it, breathing with it, letting his fear dissolve into stillness. Morpheus nods approvingly. Good. The storm feeds on imbalance. Harmony will calm it. Lucien opens his hands. Streams of light flow from his palms, joining the swirling sky. Each pulse of calm thought reshapes the storm's colors, softening the sharp edges. He feels the weight of many minds, dreamers struggling, searching, afraid to awaken. He whispers, "You are not alone." The words ripple outward like light through water. The storm begins to respond, its movements slowing, its tones deepening into peace. Morpheus spreads his arms, eyes glowing faintly. Feel it, Lucien. Balance through being. Lucien feels the pulse align with his heartbeat, then fade into gentle calm. The sky clears, revealing streams of stars flowing like rivers above. Where there was chaos, now there is silence, not empty, but full of breath. Morpheus lowers his hands. "You've done well," he says softly. Lucien exhales shakily. "I didn't fight. I just listened." "That is the first truth of creation," Morpheus says. "The universe listens to those who hear." Lucien looks upward. The colors fade into clarity, revealing patterns among the stars. They move like veins of light, connecting one dream to another. "Did we fix it?" he asks, uncertain. "For now," Morpheus replies. "But storms return. They remind us to realign." Lucien nods, watching as gentle rain of stardust falls around them. The droplets hum as they touch the ground, forming glowing ripples in the sand. Each ripple carries a memory: laughter, forgiveness, quiet understanding. Lucien touches one. It dissolves into warmth that fills his chest. He feels renewed, grounded in calm and purpose. Morpheus looks at him with quiet pride. "You understand now. Control is illusion. Balance is choice." Lucien smiles faintly. "Then I choose peace." The storm fades completely, leaving a vast stillness that hums with life. They stand beneath a sky reborn, brighter than before. "The voyage continues," Morpheus says, "and so does the dream." Together, they walk into the quiet, leaving behind only the echo of harmony. The path ahead glows with soft emerald light, warm and welcoming. Lucien breathes deeply, sensing the fragrance of earth, rain, and something ancient. They have left the storm behind, but its echo hums gently within him. Morpheus walks beside him, silent yet serene, guiding with presence, not words. Before them stretches a garden, vast, boundless, suspended in the void. The garden of infinite seeds. Each flower glows faintly, its petals shimmering with memories yet to be born. Lucien steps, carefully, feeling the pulse of life beneath his feet. "What is this place?" he asks, awed by its quiet splendor. Morpheus smiles. "Here grow the seeds of all dreams, planted by every thought ever felt." Lucien kneels beside a pool, reflecting the stars above and below. Within it, seeds drift like embers, glowing brighter when he breathes near them. He reaches toward one. It flickers, showing a glimpse of something familiar. Himself, years ago. He sees a version of his younger self, sketching, dreaming of creation. Morpheus says softly, "Every dream you have ever imagined still blooms here." Lucien's voice trembles. "Then none of it is lost." "Nothing real is ever lost," Morpheus replies, "only transformed." They walk deeper into the garden, where colors shift with emotion. Joy glows gold, sorrow hums blue, and hope breathes green. Lucien feels drawn to one small patch of soil untouched by light. He kneels and finds a single seed, dull and quiet, as though waiting. "What's this one?" he asks. Morpheus looks closely. "A seed of understanding, yours to nurture." Lucien cups it in his hands. It feels fragile, yet infinite, vibrating with hidden promise. "How do I make it grow?" he whispers. "Through choice," Morpheus answers. "Plant it not in the soil, but within your awareness." Lucien closes his eyes and presses the seed to his chest. It dissolves into light, sinking beneath his skin. A warmth spreads through him, not fire, but realization. He understands that dreams do not exist apart from the dreamer. They are alive only when tended with faith, patience, and care. When he opens his eyes, The garden has changed. Every flower glows brighter, as if responding to his inner awakening. Morpheus nods. You've given the garden a new song. Lucien listens and hears a melody rising from the soil itself. It is soft, endless, filled with gratitude. He smiles. I didn't think one seed could change so much. One thought can shape eternity, Morpheus replies gently. They walk past trees heavy with fruit made of light. Each fruit contains a single moment of understanding, waiting to be shared. Lucien touches one, and it glows, revealing a vision of countless dreamers awakening. He feels their collective hope, their silent strength. The garden hums with harmony, infinite and alive. Lucien whispers, Then this place isn't mine alone. Morpheus answers, It belongs to all who dare to remember. The air shimmers, and the stars above bend closer, listening. Lucien closes his eyes, feeling the seed within him pulse with quiet purpose. The garden of infinite seeds breathes as one with him, endless, luminous, eternal. The air grows brighter, filled with golden motes that drift like fireflies. Lucien walks beside Morpheus through a passage of shimmering light. Each step echoes softly, as though the world itself listens to their movements. Ahead stands a radiant figure, neither human nor divine, but both. The Keeper of Light, Morpheus whispers, guardian of all that awakens. Lucien feels warmth before the being even speaks. Its voice is like sunlight on water, gentle, steady, timeless. Traveler, the Keeper says, you have walked through silence and storm, through memory and seed. Lucien bows his head, and yet I still do not know where the path leads. The Keeper smiles faintly. It leads to where you began, but seen with new sight. Around them, columns of light rise like trees, pulsing with rhythm. Each beam holds a memory of awakening, laughter, forgiveness, first love, final peace. Lucien watches as scenes unfold inside the light, endless and beautiful. Every being carries a flame, the Keeper continues. Some guard it, others forget it. Lucien touches his chest where the seed still glows faintly beneath his skin. Is this my flame? He asks softly. It is, says the Keeper, and it burns brighter when shared. Morpheus steps forward. The light is not his alone nor mine. It belongs to all dreamers. The Keeper nods. True. The dream's strength lies in unity, not power, but remembrance. Lucien feels the truth in those words. The air hums with quiet harmony. He asks, Then why do so many forget? Because light can blind, says the Keeper. When one stares too long, they see only themselves. Lucien lowers his gaze, understanding. So awareness must balance with humility. The Keeper smiles, radiant and kind. Exactly. To carry light, one must know shadow. Morpheus turns to Lucien. You've learned what few remember, that awakening is not escape. Lucien nods. It's returning to what we've always been. The Keeper gestures, and the space around them blooms into constellations. Each star ignites slowly, revealing countless dreamers, awakening in their own worlds. Some smile, some weep, all remember. Lucien feels their light touch his heart, merging with his own. He understands. His journey has never been solitary. Every step, every breath has been shared with all who dream. The Keeper's voice softens. You cannot stay, Lucien. The flame must return to the waking world. Lucien hesitates. If I go back, will I remember this? The Keeper's eyes gleam gently. Not with your mind, but with your soul. Morpheus places a hand on Lucien's shoulder. Dreams fade, but their meaning endures. Lucien looks at both beings, feeling gratitude deeper than words. What should I do now? He asks quietly. The Keeper steps closer, lifting a hand of pure light. Live with wonder, speak with kindness, dream with intent. A warmth floods through Lucien, filling every corner of his being. He feels lighter, freer, yet more connected than ever before. The Keeper's light begins to fade, its glow folding inward like dawn becoming day. Morpheus whispers, The voyage nears its end, but not its meaning. Lucien bows. Then let me carry the light home. And as they step forward, the stars themselves seem to bow in return. The stars dissolve into ripples of silver light, and the ground beneath Lucien begins to shift. He feels weight returning, the subtle gravity of the waking world calling him home. Morpheus walks beside him, calm as moonlight on still water. "The path back is gentle," Morpheus says, "but it will ask what you've learned." Lucien nods, feeling the air grow thicker, warmer, more real. Around them, visions unfold, echoes of his journey, each shimmering like dew. The mirror of still waters, the bridge of whispers, the garden of infinite seeds. Each place hums with life, bidding him farewell. He hears the keeper's voice carried by the wind. "Remember, every return is also a beginning." Lucien closes his eyes. The stars fade. The garden's scent lingers, soft, eternal. When he opens them again, he is standing at the edge of dawn. The world is quiet. Birds are not yet awake. The horizon blushes with first light. He touches his chest. The warmth of the seed still pulses faintly beneath his skin. He breathes deeply, and for the first time truly feels the breath itself. Morpheus stands before him, his form half shadow, half light. "This is your threshold," he says softly. "Beyond it lies waking." Lucien hesitates. "Will I see you again?" Morpheus smiles. "I exist wherever dreams are tended. You need only close your eyes." Lucien's heart stirs with both gratitude and longing. He wishes to thank him, but the words dissolve before they leave his lips. The wind carries a low hum, the same melody from the Garden of Infinite Seeds. It weaves through the air, blending with the rustle of the waking world. Lucien listens, realizing it's not fading. It's changing, becoming something new, becoming life itself. He whispers, "So the dream was never apart from the world." Morpheus nods. They are two mirrors facing the same light. Lucien smiles faintly, understanding at last. He steps forward. The ground beneath his feet glows softly, then fades into grass. He feels the cool morning air, the pulse of earth, the whisper of time returning. Morpheus's voice lingers behind him, quiet, distant, yet eternal. "The voyage never ends, Lucien. It merely changes form." Lucien turns one last time. The dreamscape shimmers, folding into a single beam of light. It rises, dissolving into the dawn sky, merging with the sun's first breath. He stands still, eyes closed, feeling the rhythm of two worlds beat as one. When he opens them, he is in his room, sunlight spilling across his desk. The air carries the faint scent of rain and jasmine. His sketchbook lies open, untouched since before the voyage. But now when he looks at the blank page, it no longer feels empty. He lifts a pencil and begins to draw, not from memory, but from understanding. Lines flow like rivers, shapes bloom like seeds taking root. Morpheus's voice echoes faintly. "Creation is the dream made visible." Lucien smiles, his heart steady and calm. He knows now that he doesn't have to search for the dream. He lives within it. The pencil moves, and the first light of morning spills over his hand. The world hums softly, awake, aware, and endlessly alive. Days pass, yet the echo of the voyage lingers within Lucien's heart. Every dawn feels different, softer, deeper, as though time itself breathes with him. He walks through the city, watching faces drift by, each carrying unseen stories. He sees dreamers everywhere, a child lost in thought, a musician playing to no one, a painter smiling at the sky. He realizes the astral voyage never truly ended. It only changed its scenery. Each sound, each color, each heartbeat carries a fragment of that luminous world. When he closes his eyes at night, he doesn't fall into dreams. He meets them halfway. Morpheus's voice sometimes returns, quiet as the hush before dawn. "The dream and the waking are not two paths," it says. "They are one endless circle." Lucien begins to write again, not to remember, but to share. His stories shimmer with mystery and light, weaving what words cannot fully hold. People read them and feel something stir, a faint remembrance of beauty long forgotten. Children say his tales make them dream more vividly. Artists say they see colors more alive. Lucien smiles, knowing it isn't his doing. It's the garden blooming through him. Every page he writes feels like planting another seed in the waking world, and he tends them gently, as Morpheus once did for him. One evening, while watching the sunset, He senses a familiar presence nearby. A whisper of cool air brushes his cheek, and he hears the melody of the infinite seeds again. He closes his eyes and smiles. "You're still here," he says softly. Morpheus's voice answers, not from the air, but from within him. "I was never gone. You've simply learned to listen." Lucien laughs quietly. The sound feels lighter than ever before. He watches the sky turn from gold to violet, the stars waking one by one. Each star reminds him of a dreamer, glowing quietly in their own journey. He whispers, "So every dream keeps the universe alive." And from deep within, Morpheus replies, "Yes, for dreams are the breath of creation." Lucien sits in silence, feeling the truth settle into his bones. He no longer seeks meaning. He lives it, breathes it, becomes it. The world around him hums. City lights flicker like constellations on earth. He understands that even in the noise, there is rhythm. Even in chaos, there is harmony. Every act of kindness, every spark of wonder, every quiet breath, all are echoes of the astral realm. Lucien takes out his notebook and writes the final line of his new story. To dream is to remember that we are infinite. He closes the book, feeling both completion and beginning in the same heartbeat. A gentle wind rises, carrying the scent of rain and jasmine once more. He tilts his head toward the stars and whispers, "Thank you, Morpheus." For a moment, he swears he hears a faint reply, a voice like laughter wrapped in light. Then silence, peaceful, vast, full. Lucien stands and walks home, his heart radiant and still. Above him, the night sky glows softly, the constellations shifting like living thoughts. The garden of infinite seeds hums beyond sight, alive within every dreamer's soul. And somewhere in the quiet between breaths, Morpheus smiles, watching, waiting, forever dreaming.